Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of Plus Ones, a series where we take a single card, break down what it does, and explore what it can do. Last time we focused on Generation Next, a spell card that offered a hefty amount of flavor, but little function. But this time we'll be talking about a card that has the same energy, but in the opposite direction. It's nigh impossible to activate, but if you do, you might as well have the game locked up on the spot. Presenting a card featuring the defeat of the three sacred beasts, Magistry Alchemist. At activation, you'll banish 4 hero monsters from among your face-up field and graveyard as cost, then you target a hero in your graveyard. When it resolves, you get to summon the targeted hero, ignoring summoning conditions. Now, granted, with the way you throw smaller heroes into the grave as fuel for bigger ones, it's not difficult to find yourself in a situation where you have 4 heroes in the grave with nothing to do. However, if you weren't playing back to the front, you certainly won't be playing this one. Even if its summoning condition bypass gives you access to... well, gosh, who to choose from? Basically every elemental and masked hero resist being revived, so in theory this is a good way to bring back a powerful boss monster you couldn't get by any other means. But if you're willing to go full anime, you can unlock Magistry Alchemist's true power. If the monsters you banished have attributes containing at least fire, water, wind, and earth, the monster you summon goes full Captain Planet! Not only is the summoned hero's original attack doubled while it's on the field, you negate the effect of every face-up card your opponent controls for good. It has no shutoff time, so while it's not going to stop your opponent from flipping any trap cards or making follow-up plays, any effects that were hampering you vanish into thin air. So, bit of an anime aside here, but this is an interesting interpretation of what actually happens in the show. See, to finish off Kagemaru's dark plot to control 3 legendary monsters that no one's ever actually been afraid of, Jaden harnesses the power of Sabatiel, the Philosopher's Stone. Another card that had to be wildly powered down to see print. I'll try not to get too mired in the details, but Jaden uses Sabatiel 3 times without even having to play the darn thing, cutting his life points in half 3 times, bringing him down to a measly 75 life points. He grabbed a whole bunch of fusion spells, but ends on Miracle Fusion, summoning elemental hero Electrum. Then, if that wasn't enough, Sabatiel turns into an equip card, the cool halberd thing that you see in the card art, which multiplies Electrum's attack by the number of monsters Kagemaru controlled. And Raviel, poor obelisk ripoff that they are, ended up summoning a bunch of tokens, putting Electrum at a staggering 14,500 attack points. Move over, Utopia double. So, yeah, you can kind of see the inspiration for Magistry Alchemist's effects. The card art shows the moment just before the final blow. The activation cost is kind of like a Miracle Fusion, but they let you summon whichever hero you want. And if you mimic Electrum's fusion material, you get a huge attack boost and... well, I'm not sure where the effect negation comes from, actually. I guess that was just to sweeten the deal. Okay, so history lesson out of the way. What's the practical applications here? Well, thankfully, with the inclusion of Liquid Man, we now actually have a good water monster to splash into the deck. Between them, Stratos, and Solid Soldier, we just need a fire, and, well, to be honest, we're really strapped for good choices. The only one I'd consider playing is Blaze Man. It does search polymerization, and in a pinch it can be used to Foolish Burial Shadow Mist for a search, or you can Foolish any of the attributes that you're missing. So, assuming you've pulled off the elemental hero Doriado effect, what are some of the craziest cards that we can summon? A base 5,000 attack Sunriser would be pretty neat, though it does suck that the Miracle Fusion you search off of it may not have a lot of materials left over to use it. Evil hero Malicious Bane would be outright terrifying. With 6,000 attack, there wouldn't be anything to stop it from smashing your opponent's field with its effect. It'll even get around protection from Dingirsu or Thunder Dragons because of the effect negations. But Masked Hero Darklaw's gotta be my favorite. The Banishing Baron sitting on top of a 4,800 attack point stat, facing down a field of gutted effects just sounds super nuts. It's a shame it doesn't get any protection from the trap card, but Darklaw's relatively low attack stat nowadays has been a pretty big mark against it. So we have 3 pretty solid targets for Magistry Alchemist. It would be reaching to say that you could pull off its full power effect consistently, but it is good to know that you can pull the trigger anyway just to get the revival. and all three are still fantastic monsters in their own right. In a pinch, this could even summon Stratos or Shadow Mist just in case you need the extra search. But despite that, it's weighed down by the fact that it's a trap card and it does have a pretty hefty activation cost. Not to mention it can all be undone by a single Called by the Grave. All in all, Magistry Alchemist has an incredible payoff, but don't expect it to carry you to a top spot in any tournaments. It will, however, guarantee that you will have onlookers yelling in bewilderment if you manage to pull this off in a clutch scenario. Not a lot of points for substance, but massive points for style. So what do you all think of the latest addition to the "if I ever manage to activate this, you'll be sorry" crowd? Do you think this card will see more success summoning the smaller enablers than the big showstoppers? Or is this destined to join the plethora of other hero support traps on the cutting room floor, like Hero Barrier or D-Counter? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for more coverage of the Magical Heroes set. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.